Case maker Thinborn has just launched a dedicated landing page for the Galaxy S26 Ultra, giving us an exciting first look at its design and charging details. Samsung is reportedly working on three new flagship phones, all rumored to be unveiled around March. But it seems the S26 Ultra is already stealing the spotlight. Thinborn, known for its ultra slim and premium quality cases, already has its super thin case ready for the Galaxy S26 Ultra. The landing page not only showcases the case, but also quietly reveals key design and charging features of Samsung's upcoming beast. The leak confirms what many fans suspected. The Galaxy S26 Ultra will continue to embrace its signature thick camera bump, now paired with built-in charging magnets. This means Galaxy S26 users will finally get to experience official Qi 2 charging without needing any special accessories. That alone makes the upgrade sound worth it. The back panel design of the Galaxy S26 Ultra looks familiar yet refined, featuring a vertically aligned triple camera setup similar to previous models. When you factor in the camera island, the total thickness could reach around 12.4 millimeters, giving the phone a bold and solid profile. Next to the main camera bump are two smaller rings, one housing a TOF sensor and the other a telephoto camera. Between these two sits an LED flashlight, strategically placed to enhance low-light videography and nighttime photography. Every little detail feels meticulously crafted, showing how Samsung continues to perfect its design language. The Galaxy S25 series already came with support for Qi 2-ready charging technology, but what's coming next feels like a major leap. According to Thinborn's listing, the Galaxy S26 lineup won't just support Qi 2. It's also bringing MagSafe compatibility into the mix. The visuals on the site clearly display a neatly aligned magnetic ring designed to meet the latest Qi 2 standards, hinting at a new era of faster, more reliable wireless charging for Samsung devices. However, not everything seems perfectly smooth behind the scenes. Reports suggest that Samsung's launch plans for the Galaxy S26 series may have hit a roadblock. The company has apparently made some late changes to its lineup strategy and reverted to its older, more traditional approach. Due to the delayed development of the Galaxy S26 Plus, the entire schedule could be pushed back, meaning fans might have to wait a little longer than expected for the big reveal. Still, if these leaks and early details are anything to go by, the wait for the Galaxy S26 Ultra will be more than worth it. Earlier, we saw a wave of leaked CAD renders, but this latest leak finally gives us our first real-life look at what could be next year's most anticipated flagship. The Galaxy S26 Ultra appears to feature a fascinating mix-up of design cues taken straight from the S25 Edge and Fold 7, as revealed by tipster Tarun Vats. One of the most noticeable things is the thick camera bump on the back. The entire camera island follows the same design language we've seen in Samsung's recent premium devices, keeping that bold and confident look alive. Sensor-wise, the camera placement remains unchanged. Three sensors sit neatly within the bump, while two additional lenses are housed in separate rings, with an LED flashlight placed right in the middle. It's a setup that feels both familiar and refined, but this time it stands out more due to the way the panel bump and camera rings make that section thicker than the rest of the body. We've got @BrightMinho dropping what he calls the Galaxy S26 Ultra leaked, and wow, these colors look stunning. We're seeing a soft pearl pink finish that gives off a clean, elegant vibe, a sleek, matte gray that screams professionalism, and then there's that bold, burnt orange version that just stands out with confidence. If these are real, Samsung might be taking a more playful yet premium approach for 2026. And honestly, if I had to choose, that orange one might be the showstopper. It's different, it's daring, and it just looks right. But it's not just the colors that are catching everyone's eye. It's that camera setup. From the images, it looks like Samsung is keeping the floating camera lens design, just like the S25 Ultra, but this time the arrangement looks more refined, cleaner, more symmetrical. Could this mean we're getting a refreshed 200 megapixel sensor, or maybe an updated periscope layout? Too early to confirm, but leaks like this often line up closely with early prototypes, and this one definitely feels close to the real deal. Then we've got @CrowRow stepping in with something equally interesting, a CAD drawing of what he envisions as the S26 Ultra, and you've got to see it. The layout is clear, A quad camera setup, a centered LED flash, and that familiar rectangular ultra frame that instantly screams Samsung. The CAD lines make it obvious. The S26 Ultra is sticking to that signature boxy note-like design with flat edges, sharp corners, and maybe even a slightly slimmer camera island. It's subtle, but it's classy. Now, when you compare it to the Galaxy S25 Ultra, the differences might not jump out immediately. But that's kind of Samsung's thing lately. Small refinements that quietly make a big difference once you hold the phone. Rumors are already suggesting another titanium frame, maybe lighter this time, with an improved grip texture that could make it feel more balanced in hand. If that's true, we're looking at a phone that's not only tough, but also more comfortable to use. So between @BrightMinho's color leaks and @CrowRow's CAD vision, we're starting to see a pretty clear picture of where Samsung might be heading in 2026. 3 eye-catching color options, a refined camera design, and that strong, polished Ultra identity that fans keep coming back for. If these leaks turn out to be accurate, the Galaxy S26 Ultra could be shaping up to be one of the cleanest, most refined designs Samsung has ever made. So what do you think? Which color wins it for you? Pearl pink, Titan gray, or solar orange? Drop your pick in the comments. I'm curious to see which one takes the crown. Samsung hasn't officially shared any details about its upcoming flagship yet, but based on recent patterns, we can make a pretty good guess at when it might arrive. Over the past few years, Samsung has shifted the timing of its Galaxy S Unpacked events from the end of the first quarter to much earlier in the year. Looking back, the Galaxy S20 lineup was unveiled on February 11th, 2020. The S21 series arrived earlier, with a launch on January 14, 2021. The S22 came on February 9th, 2022, hitting stores on February 25th. Then, Samsung kept up the rhythm with the Galaxy S23's launch on February 1st, 2023, and release on February 17th, while the S24 series followed a slightly earlier schedule, January 17th, 2024, with sales starting January 31st. Most recently, the Galaxy S25 series was announced on January 22nd, 2025, and reached users by February 7. If we follow this pattern, it seems Samsung loves the month of February, either for unveiling or launching its top-tier devices. So, for the Galaxy S26 series, we can expect a launch sometime in mid to late January, with sales kicking off by late January or early February. That said, there's a little twist this time. The rumored cancellation of the Galaxy S26 Edge and the development shift toward a new Galaxy S26 Plus might push things a bit. If that happens, we could be looking at a possible March 2026 debut, but that's still unconfirmed. What's certain is that the Galaxy S26 Ultra will arrive packed with meaningful upgrades. It's expected to feature the latest Qualcomm chipset, enhanced camera sensors, the next-gen One UI software, and a fresh wave of AI-powered experiences that could redefine the flagship game once again. According to early industry reports, Samsung's partners are gearing up to start mass production of key components by November this year, including the new camera sensors. Firmware development has also kicked off for 2 models, the now-canceled Edge and the Ultra. The company is reportedly keeping the Plus variant alive, while the S26 Pro has been renamed simply to Galaxy S26 for its 2026 debut. The wait might feel long, but anticipation is part of the thrill. As always, Samsung seems to be preparing something truly special for fans. We'll keep updating as more reliable information surfaces, because when it comes to the Galaxy S26 Ultra, every new detail is worth the wait. Samsung could delay the Galaxy S26 series reveal by almost 2 months, meaning the phones might miss their usual January 2026 launch window. According to a new report, Samsung is currently dealing with unexpected issues in the development and design phase of its upcoming flagship lineup. The sudden shakeup in the Galaxy S26 strategy seems to have created a major disruption in Samsung's early 2026 plans, leaving both the company and its fans in a bit of uncertainty. It now appears that the Galaxy S26 series could be unveiled in March instead of January 2026. That's definitely not the news fans were hoping for, but sometimes a little longer wait is better than a rushed product, especially when it's about something as big as the S26 series. Over the past few days, we've seen reports about the surprising revival of the Galaxy S26 Plus, the cancellation of the Galaxy S26 Edge, and even a naming reversal where the Galaxy S26 Pro might revert to simply being called the Galaxy S26. Through all this chaos, the Galaxy S26 Ultra has remained untouched, the only model that seems to have survived the lineup turbulence without major changes. Interestingly, the development of the Galaxy S26 Edge was reportedly close to completion before Samsung decided to pull the plug. The Galaxy S26 Pro, on the other hand, could still launch under that name, but the Plus model appears to be starting over from scratch. Samsung might already have an early Galaxy S26 Plus prototype in hand just to prevent a last-minute rush. Yet the device still needs more time to be properly developed. Despite these hurdles, the Galaxy S26 Plus has started showing up in official databases like the IMEI registry, signaling that Samsung hasn't abandoned it completely. Still, as we head into November, it's getting harder to believe that the S26 lineup will make its debut in January. Reports continue to hint at a possible delay, and now the real question is, how far will it go? Will Samsung manage to push the launch to February, or will fans have to wait all the way until March to see the next big Galaxy flagship finally unveiled? This time, Samsung seems to have taken the best design ideas from the S25 Edge and the Fold 7, blending them into one stunning flagship that feels both bold and refined. Earlier, we only saw leaked CAD renders floating around, but this latest leak gives us our very first real-life look at what could be Samsung's biggest launch of 2026. From what we can see, the Galaxy S26 Ultra is rocking a design mix that instantly reminds you of both the S25 Edge and the Fold 7. And that's not a bad thing at all. According to Tarun Vats, who shared the latest leak, the phone features a noticeably thick camera bump on the back. The island design follows the same layout seen in Samsung's recent premium devices, keeping that premium identity intact, but adding a more solid, confident feel. The camera setup itself stays familiar. 3 sensors placed neatly within the main bump, 2 separate camera rings positioned on the side, and an LED flashlight right in the center. But this time, something feels different. The bump and the individual camera rings are thicker than ever before, making the camera area stand out from the rest of the body. This design change seems to have a real purpose. It gives Samsung extra space to house its next-gen camera sensors, possibly hinting at major hardware upgrades beneath the surface. One small yet meaningful detail caught everyone's attention. The leaked case render confirms that Samsung is moving away from those iconic Saturn camera rings. The Galaxy S26 series will instead feature sleeker, more modern lens outlines. It's a subtle but significant change that makes the phone look more refined and cohesive. Just like the S25 Edge, which had its own distinct bump, and the Z Fold 7 that refined the lens frames, the S26 Ultra seems to combine both worlds into a fresh, balanced design. There's also a clear shift in the overall shape of the device. The Galaxy S26 Ultra has slightly more rounded corners than before, giving it a smoother and more comfortable grip. The Ultra series has always been sharp and industrial, but this change makes it feel softer, a little more in tune with what we've seen from Apple's iPhone and Google's Pixel designs. And yes, for all the S Pen lovers out there, it's still here. Samsung isn't ready to retire it just yet. However, the whispers are growing louder that by 2027, we might see the S Pen finally fade away from the Ultra lineup. It's hard to imagine an Ultra without it, but if this design evolution continues, it might be the natural next step. So, what we're seeing in the Galaxy S26 Ultra isn't just a cosmetic update. It's a clear signal that Samsung is rethinking what the Ultra experience should look and feel like. Every curve, every bump, every small decision seems to serve a purpose. The S26 Ultra feels like the start of a new design era, one that merges power, precision, and personality into a single, beautifully crafted flagship. A new leak shows the Galaxy S26 Ultra in a bold orange finish that looks strikingly similar to Apple's cosmic orange. Coincidence or copy? That's the question stirring up the internet right now. For years, Samsung and Apple have been locked in an intense rivalry, with every new release sparking endless comparisons. But this time, it's not the camera, performance, or display making headlines. It's the color. A fresh leak suggests that Samsung's upcoming Galaxy S26 Ultra might arrive in a bold orange shade that uncannily resembles Apple's cosmic orange. And of course, fans are already debating whether Samsung is taking inspiration from Apple yet again, or if orange is simply destined to be the color of 2026. It all began when images of Galaxy S26 Ultra dummy units surfaced online, revealing what appears to be a striking orange variant. The leak spread like wildfire because the shade looked almost identical to Apple's latest iPhone finish. According to insiders, these dummy units are being shared with accessory makers ahead of Samsung's official launch. The design itself remains a mystery, but the color has already stolen the spotlight. And honestly, it's hard not to notice the resemblance. Apple first introduced its cosmic orange with the iPhone 17 lineup, branding it as bold yet refined, a color that stands out without shouting for attention. Fans loved it for being stylish, premium, and refreshingly different from the usual black, silver, and gold options. Over the years, Apple has shaped the conversation around smartphone colors. From midnight green to deep purple, each shade has become iconic in its own right. So Samsung's move to bring a similar orange into its lineup naturally invites comparison. This isn't the first time the two tech giants have been accused of echoing each other's design language. From packaging styles to UI tweaks and even camera layouts, Samsung and Apple have often found themselves on the same page, intentionally or not.